Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. And this is episode 11. Last time, Clover finished or continued her story about the experiment that happened, how many years ago it was. She revealed that also there's a high possibility that Snake isn't dead. We also found out that as well, last time the nonary game happened, there was 9 people on a boat, 9 people in a building, and there was the experiment was to communicate to each other telepathically. And as she was telling that story, Ace bolted in. Oh, we also saw that there's a dead guy in the captain's room, and it was set up as if we're to assume that they were Zero, but it was in such an obvious way that it couldn't be, as in, like, they were making it too obvious, and I think Junpei was saying, there's no way this is Zero. Anyway, whilst Clover was explaining this idea of the nonary game that had happened before, Ace barged in and said, hey, I need you in the other room now, come here. So, we're going to find out what Ace wants on Borderline Games. Borderline Games. Ugh. Grumbling to himself, Junpei stomped off toward the communications office. Stomped off. What do you want then? Junpei, what are you doing? We've searched the wheelhouse from top to bottom. There's no reason to go back. In fact, don't you think it would be wise to investigate the captain's quarters? I think we ought to check both rooms, don't you? What does he want, though? Look, a hook. That wasn't a joke. I know, man. Hang on, we just to explore this room. Is that what the deal is? Okay. Okay, so I guess let's have a look. It looks as though that drawer is the only thing that's locked. I don't see a keyhole, though. An electric lock, perhaps? Take a look at the left side of the drawer. Yeah, there's some cables over there. That must mean... This is a really long cable. The tip is hooked onto one of the desk's drawers. An early telecommunications device. Most likely used to transmit a radio signal of some sort. I experimented with it earlier, but to no avail. I imagine it's broken. Ooh. Hey, what is this? It's blank, there's nothing written on it. Okay, so it's going to be invisible ink, maybe? There's nothing in the drawer anymore. Okay, so what do we do now, then? Hey, Ace, look! It's a monkey with glasses. How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? Hey, Ace, look! It's a model of a steam train. How on earth did you arrive at that conclusion? It's a telegraph key. A machine for transmitting Morse code. Okay. I tried sending an SOS earlier, but I doubt that did anything. Zero would never make it that easy. So you think it's broken? No, it works. I'm just not sure if it's actually transmitting anything outside of the ship. It's transmitting to this drawer, I guess. Or I guess. Clock. A clock mounted on the wall. The hands aren't moving. Still surprised that the time is wrong then, I suppose. And there's nothing on the back. Okay, cool. What else we got here? Ink, okay. Nothing in the drawer anymore? There's nothing in the drawer anymore. Nuh-uh, there's air. How old are you? 9? Screwdrivers. Okay, we can probably use those on our... let's combine it with this. Alright, this screwdriver ought to make short work of this music box. Okay, so we got cylinder now. Okay. Anything else we can combine here? Is it going to print onto this? If it's going to print, it's going to need... It's going to need ink. Okay. Will this work? I guess I'll put the ink on the cylinder. I guess. May as well at this point. Oh, is this going to give us a Morse code pattern? Okay. Now I just got to roll the cylinder across a piece of paper. And if I'm right, the ink should... Cool! Morse code chart! Alright. Okay, so... Now that we know how to do that... Alright, I've got the Morse code I'm supposed to enter. If I do this right, something will happen. I hope. Alright, let's give this a shot. Okay. How do I do that then? What am I supposed to do? Is it... What am I supposed to do? Oh, am I literally supposed to do... No? Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So... Okay. So it's hold. There we go. There we go. That's the last one, and... Yes! Excellent work, Junpei. Good job. You seem to have figured it out. You've unlocked the drawer. Yeah, all thanks to your help, I'm sure. Okay, what have we got? A red file lay in the drawer. Junpei reached down and picked it up. Looks like something's on the cover. Alice. All ice. All ice. Alice. Does this mean... Junpei couldn't hold back. He had to know what was in that file. Each page was covered with strange characters. They looked like tiny drawings of birds, snakes, insects, horned animals, wings, and even kneeling humans. There were many pages in the file, and each was full of these strange symbols. What the hell is this? He didn't realize he'd spoken out loud until Ace looked over at him. The hieroglyphics. No, hieroglyphs. A form of writing used in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt? That's right. Can you read them? Of course. I can't. What made you think I could? What the hell? Junpei flipped through a few more pages. It wasn't just one or two pages that were covered in the strange symbols. Every single page was covered in them. Whoa, the whole thing's like that. Trying to read them was pointless. Junpei wasn't going to waste any more time with them. He made to close the file. And something fell out. What's this? He bent down and picked it up. Oh, a keycard. Bottom deck library. There was a symbol on it that reminded Junpei of the symbols for the Saturn and Mercury keycards. This one, however, had a dot in the center of the male symbol. Uranus. That's the Uranus symbol. Insert bomb joke here. Junpei looked over to see Ace examining the card. In addition to the Uranus symbol, there were 3 words engraved on the card as well. Something's written on the bottom. Bottom deck library. This must be the key to the library then. So it would seem. Bottom deck library. Ah! Junpei remembered something he'd heard from Seven when they'd been in the chemical closet. Seven said something like, Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge beneath the navel of the gigantic. Could beneath the navel mean the bottom deck, and the forest of knowledge is the library? Then could Alice be in the room somewhere beyond the library? What's wrong? Something on your mind? Junpei blinked. Only then did he notice Ace looking at him. Curiosity and concern written across his face in equal parts. Yeah, I just remembered something. Is that so? What about? Well, don't laugh, okay? There was no reason for Junpei to hide his thoughts. He began to explain his theory to Ace. Then he stopped. It wouldn't make sense if Ace didn't know who Alice was supposed to be, so he told Ace everything June had told him. The Egyptian priestess. And Ice 9. Interesting. And the woman who wouldn't melt, who was recovered from the Titanic disaster. They called her All Ice, which eventually turned into Alice. And she was purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain. According to Seven, this ship is where he hid Alice. And you think that he hid her in a small room beyond the library on the bottom deck? Yeah, well, I mean, it is just a theory. Ace stared off into the distance, his hand slowly and absent-mindedly stroking his beard. After a few moments, his hand stopped. He turned slowly to look at Junpei, and his brows drew together. Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS? CAS? It stands for Cells Alive System. It's an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter. Put simply, it's a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals. Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expand as it crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane. CAS, however, works differently. The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form. It was originally developed for the preservation of food, as an alternative to the normal freezing procedures, or process. Now, however, there are rumours that it can be used for other things. What do you mean, other things? Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel. Space travel? Are you serious? Surely you've heard of suspended animation, cryogenic freezing. It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space. That was when Junpei understood what Ace was suggesting. Whoa, wait a minute there. Ace looked at him and raised an eyebrow. Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that CAS thing? Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. In this special ice you call Ice 9, if it does exist, and if CAS were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously, you think she could be alive? Well, I can't say for sure, of course. I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature. That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about? You're quite right. It does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor. You mean the guy dressed like a captain? Yes. He was dead when we found him. Clearly he was murdered. But if he was murdered, then by whom? It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible. In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. The door that requires the Earth Key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened that door? Sansa and Lotus. Right. Clearly the two of them could not have opened door 1 or any other door for that matter. Who else then could have done so? Junpei thought for a second. Nobody. After Sansa and Lotus used the Earth Key, they turned back and met up with me and June. Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover. While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind. But it's impossible for those three to open door 1. How about when June and I took the elevator to door 2? No, still wouldn't work. We were gone only 5 minutes. No human being could have run into the captain's quarters, killed that guy in there, and then ran back that fast. It'd be impossible for any of us to be the murderer. That being the case, who could have killed him? Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time? A person like that would know the ship well. They'd know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors. The numbered door would mean nothing to someone like that. It'd be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters. Then you're saying the killer was Alice? It was Junpei's turn to raise an eyebrow. Ace drew his thumb across his lips thoughtfully. Well, this is only one possible theory. All ice. Alice. Is she really somewhere on the ship? Junpei had only one clue. The key card in his hand. Maybe this card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge. And the big mystery. What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge? Anyway, whatever. It's going to have to wait. I can't do anything right now. I'll come back to this later. He gripped the key card tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. New material has been added to the file screen. That's just what we've learned, isn't it? Cool. Okay. What is that? A unique key. Okay. A key with a leather case. It isn't metal. My guess would be ceramic. Junpei, have you found a keyhole that might fit it? Okay, so ceramic piece that needs a key. Okay. Have we got everything we need in here? Is there anything in these drawers? A drawer, there's nothing inside. Oh! What's the deal with this? Is it some kind of code? There are 4 rows of numbers and letters. They all start with 0 and end with 8, F, N, or V, respectively. Maybe this has something to do with number bases. New material has been added to the file screen. Numerical system chart found in the captain's quarters. 10 in base 10 is written as A in hexadecimal. Therefore 11 is B, 12, 13, 14 is E, and so on. This chart showed the rules for each numerical system. Right, okay. Oh my god. Okay. So those are different... Did I open this one? Can I open that one? No. Okay. To look at this camera. Looks like whatever the camera sees shows up on the screen behind us. So if I put my hand here in front of it, it shows up on the middle top screen back there. We've got a short lifeline, Junpei. Hey, mind your own business. Oh, I see. Okay. Control panel for the electronic lock. Looks like it's got a keyhole on the bottom right. Maybe the key I got earlier. Sweet. Just had to put the key in and now it's on. Junpei, look! There's a minus sign on the screen. There's 8 of them. That probably means we've got to put in 8 digits. Okay. Do you think you can figure it out? Okay, so maybe it's to do with... Not this. Maybe it's to do with... this. Okay. Hang on, let's look at it again. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it says here, a numeral system chart found in Captain's Quarters, 10 in base 10, is written as A in hexadecimal. Therefore, 11 is B, 12 is C, 13 is D, 14 is E, and so on. This chart showed the rules for each numerical system. Right. Okay. 10 is written as A in hexadecimal. So that's 10. So do we have to use... We've got to spell this out. Okay, so if that's the case, do we just take the orders of the alphabet and add... Okay, so A is 1 plus 9, so A is 10. Yes? So if that's true... so we've got 0, okay? So that means Z is the 26th letter of the alphabet plus 9, 35. Okay. If I mess it up, I guess I press C. Alright, let's give it a shot. So 35. E is going to be 5 plus 9. And then R, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. So it's O20, is that right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. 18? Oops. Excuse my alarm there. So 18 plus 9. And then the last one is O. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O. 15 plus 9 is 24. Yes! I feel like a genius. It worked. Good job, Junpei! Excellent, you seem to have unlocked it. Good work, Junpei. Alright, let's go. Was there a camera pointing at it, though? I guess to show that it's related to that over there. You found it. They stepped out of the captain's quarters and into another hallway. The hallway stretched out in front of Junpei for a bit before turning left like a great backward L. Alright, let's go. Junpei turned the corner and took off down the straightaway. He ran, and ran, and ran. At the end of the hallway was a door. That's the next door. He made straight for it. Wait, a piece of paper. He was nearly halfway to it when he noticed a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. Junpei skidded to a halt. This is... He dropped down to his hands and knees and quickly tore the paper off the floor. Map of the ship's interior for A deck. What's wrong? Ace, slightly slower by virtue of his advanced age, had finally caught up to Junpei. I found a map of this floor. He showed Ace what he snatched from the wall. He looked at it long enough to determine what it was, and nodded. I see. With that, he began running again past Junpei. Well, that was anticlimactic. I should keep this, though. Junpei shoved the map into his pocket and got up to follow Ace. But something stopped him. Hey, where's Clover? He turned around. Clover was nowhere to be seen. Damn it, what the hell is she up to? Junpei muttered angrily under his breath and took off back the way he'd come. As he stomped around the corner, he saw her. She was standing in front of the door to the captain's quarters, her hand on the doorknob. Clover! Huh? As Junpei watched, she closed it gently and quietly. What the hell are you doing? Nothing. I wasn't eating him. What do you mean, nothing? Clover had unconsciously put her hands over the pockets of her jacket as if trying to hide something. What the hell is that? What? You've got something in your pocket. What is it? Oh, this. This is... a note. A note? Yeah, I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something. What the hell? Let me see it. No, not right. But Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice. Hey, Junpei, Clover, what are you two doing? Hurry up. He's getting mad. Clover shrugged. I'll show it to you later, alright? Come on, we gotta hurry. Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Weird. Around the corner and off down the long stem of the L. A note. A note. Junpei was curious. But there was something else that bothered him. From the look of that pocket, it doesn't particularly look like just a note. Jeez, what are you thinking? For crying out loud. Junpei did his best to convince himself that it would make sense later and ran off after Clover. Junpei pushed through the door and found himself in a large room with a large set of stairs. The big stairs. So this is where it ends up. Just like it says on the map. It was just what he'd expected to see after reading the map. His I see after reading the map himself meant that Ace had probably realised the same thing. Ace. Did he head down? He put his hand on the handrail and leaned over to look down. Oh, there he is. Look, the 4 others are there too. And not just Ace, Santa, June, Seven and Lotus as well. Oh, hang on. The 4 others are there too. Oh, I see. Okay, whatever. Really? Let's join them. Junpei and Clover glanced at each other and hurried down the stairs. They reached B deck at the same time. Junpei! Clover! June's face was excited. Something had happened, that much Junpei could tell by simply looking at her. What's up? Given the situation, he was not inclined to be excited about sudden developments. June, however, couldn't contain herself. We found it! Found what? We found it! What did you find? The 9 door? The last door! We found door 9. Ooh. What? Come on, just follow us, we'll explain on the way. Okay. Seven turned around and jogged off down the stairs. Well, if that's the case... Wait for me. We should get going as well. The rest followed. Junpei! We finally made it. The relief and excitement in her voice echoed what each one of them felt. Yeah, it's finally time. Junpei wasn't quite ready to believe they'd really done it. At least not just yet. Still, if everyone said that there was a door 9, then it probably was. We've reached the end. He could feel his heart racing. A mixture of anticipation and fear ran through his veins, and he could feel his legs shaking. He was doing his best to maintain a sense of healthy skepticism, but he couldn't deny that the prospect of escape was an exciting one. But something's bothering me. Only 3 to 5 people can go through the numbered door. Seven of us are on our way to door 9. That means that best case scenario, there'll be 2 of us who have to stay behind. 2 people. Is there a way? Junpei looked over at the clock. 4:30. We've only got 90 minutes left. I've got no time to wonder about it now. Hey, Junpei. June, what the hell are you two doing? Hurry it up. Santa's voice jolted Junpei out of his reverie. Let's go, Junpei. June took off down the stairs, jogging as quickly as she could. Yeah. Junpei followed. As a group, they piled onto the elevator and rode impatiently down to E deck. It looked familiar. There was a metal grate between the 2 elevators. Seven grabbed hold of it and began to talk. 7 grabbers. I know I told you I'd explain it earlier, but honestly, there ain't much to explain. After we split up from you guys, the 4 of us got into the elevator on the left and then took us to the other side of the grate. After that, we headed down another hallway. It took us towards the bow, and eventually to the number 6 that you two found earlier. We opened it and kept going. There was another locked door behind it like usual, but this time we had to complete 2 different areas before we could unlock it. Once we were through that door, there was another hallway that went the other direction towards the stern. So, on your way you found the elevator? No, wrong voice. So, on your way you found the elevator? That's right. So, in other words, you kind of did a lap, huh? You came from that side to this side. Yeah. With that settled, Junpei looked around. So, where's the number 9 door? Over here, follow me. 7 began walking down the hallway that led towards the stern. Junpei and the others broke into a jog to keep up with him. By the way, they'd been walking for a while, June in silent step with Junpei when she spoke. You know it's because of Santa that we're all here right now. Huh? That all 7 of us are going to door 9. You don't get it. Santa, 7 and Lotus. What's their digital route? 9. It's 9. That's right. They could have just left me behind and kept going if they wanted to. But they didn't. Yes, wrong voice. Yes, because Santa wouldn't let them. He said we can't leave June and the others behind. That's why we went looking for you guys. And then you got on the elevator and went back to the central staircase. That's right. Well, I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one... oh, hang on. I wouldn't have called that one. That Santa would be the one to stick up for you, I mean. Junpei felt his eyebrows knit as he considered that. Oh, don't get me wrong. Perhaps June had sensed Junpei's concern. I don't mean that 7 and Lotus said they wanted to leave me behind. We were just talking about it and Santa objected to it first. Is that so? Junpei was about to respond when 7 suddenly stopped. We're here. And that is going to be the fantastic cliffhanger for this episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. I'll see you next time. Have a good evening and have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.